It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I went to my local bottle shop the other day and I picked up a can of Stone Hazy IPA, 6.7% ABV, described as an amazingly hazy IPA. Now, I paid £2.75 for this beer. So, immediately, absolutely immediately, my thoughts have turned to, and it's a bit sad to say this, I suppose, the quality of the beer. This beer has had to come all the way from California in America. They've had to make a profit on it, and they've had to pay all the duty. All of the export duties and everything else. I don't want to bore you too much with it, but a 6.7% ABV Hazy IPA for £2.75, when you would probably struggle to buy a Daya Pale Ale for that sort of money. You really would, actually. Probably pay £4, £5 for a Daya Pale Ale these days. Whereas I think 7 years ago, I would have been totally... my expectation of Stone Brewing Company would have been out of this world. I would have been thinking this is going to be the greatest beer I've ever tasted in my whole life, because Stone did that, hopefully still do that. Having said that, I've not had a Stone beer in 2 or 3 years. So fingers crossed, it's great. Maybe they're just selling it at a cost. But for the price, my hopes are not that high. It's a 12 fluid ounce can, which I think that's 355 millilitres. It's a bit more than our UK 330 millilitre style cans. I can't help myself these days. I can't. Perhaps I'm overthinking. I'm starting to get some comments in the YouTube comments box on the channel where people are saying, you know, you're thinking about the beer too much before you've even opened it and given the beer a chance. But I suppose that's just the experience of drinking nearly 8,000 beers on the channel, is that you kind of get an idea of price and quality and where the beer comes from, whether this is going to work or not. And I suppose I used to like the older self of me a little better, I suppose, where when I first started this, I was very wet behind the ears 11 years ago, 12 years ago. Didn't really know what to expect from beer, and there was no expectation, there was no under expectation, there was no kind of like trepidation going into beer reviews with a slight trepidation. But anyway, let's get into this. We got a 1 finger white head. Good levels of carbonation, hazy looking beer. Straw coloured, let's get the aroma. It's not bad, actually. It's not bad. Little bit of passion fruit, little bit of mango. Little bit of grapefruit. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh wow. Oh wow, oh wow. Ooh. I literally just reviewed a beer from Sweden at 4.9% ABV, and it was the most amazing pale ale for 4.9% ABV I've ever tried on one of the most amazing pale ales ever on the channel. Terrific. Here it is here. I mean, it more or less looks the same as the Stone, but everything from the aroma, which is banging out the glass, as Stone used to do. this is just not banging out the glass. This is really not doing much at all, really. There's a little bit of passion fruit mango, but we're really having to, you know, breathe in to really get any sense of what's going on here. And the taste is just, well, I'm surprised. Let's do the pale ale. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Passion fruit, mango, grapefruit, orange peel, fleshy blood orange, great mouthfeel, great drinkability, and you get a massive, 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 massive sense of hops and hops from the Swedish beer. Why have I decided to pick up the Swedish beer from a previous beer review? Well, I did that 10 minutes ago, and it's this. I mean, I'm going to give it a few tastes before I really give my honest opinion on this, but I don't think things are going to change too much. It tastes really sweet and really synthetic. I'm really surprised by Stone Brewing Company. I mean, I remember a time where everybody used to jump for joy when they used to be able to get hold of a Stone Brewing Company beer in the UK. It was just marvellous stuff. Marvellous, marvellous stuff. It's like any... It just seems like any brewery that grows and expands and they promise to do great things, they seem to just retract from that quality that they once had, like putting all of the attention to detail into their beers. It's like they go, okay, we've made it now, we don't have to make great beer anymore, we're just going to make bang average beers because we got a massive brewery. But the owner and CEO of Stone Brewing Company, Greg Koch, would know that, because he, with his Stone Brewing Company once upon a time, would have been snapping at the heels of the regional brewers. He would have been kind of like, we're making great beer and you're not. And then all of a sudden, Stone become a regional brewer in size and scope and reputation. And then they go down the same road. I don't understand why these breweries insist on doing it. If ever I had a brewing company, mark my words on this review, if ever I went down that road of owning a brewery or a brewing company, and it ever got to a certain scale, a certain size, I want you to flog me in the street, a public flogging, if the beer ever tasted like this. Wishy-washy, sweet, synthetic flavours. I never thought I'd be saying that from a Stone Brewing Company beer. They used to be world class, world beating beers. It's got an astringency to it, a horrible astringency, a stringent kind of bitterness with concentrated hop oils or something. A chemically flavour and taste. Again, I'm going to go back to that price point. I'm going to go back to that £2.75 price point, and I'm going to, and the alarm bells were already ringing. This beer has had to travel all the way from California, taxes and everything. They were never ever going to be able to make a decent beer. I would expect, if that was the old Stone Brewing Company, I would fully expect to pay £6 for that. £6 for a can. It's had to travel halfway across the blooming world for a start. I don't really want to talk about the back of the... I don't want to read the description. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hold the can, let it focus. If you want to read the description on the back of the can, pause it and have a read. But this is, quite frankly, quite shocking stuff from Stone. I'm just... Another fall from grace from another great brewery. Horrible beer. 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.